Hi everybody, how are you? I'm Julie Netting and today I am here in the Prima offices. I'm going to show you guys my new banner pad and do a little project with it. I hope you guys are all wide awake after your 3-day weekend, and I hope you all had a great weekend. I've been chit-chatting away in here with everybody, so I am not in the right place. Let me get this camera in the right place. There we go. So today we are going to do this little gift bag tag with the banner pad that is now out. Let me take this off. And I love making banners a lot. And I thought, well, let's do a little banner tag. And of course, they don't have to be just for banners. Gosh, this camera is weird. So I decided I would make some tags with it. Why not? And these are kind of reminiscent of that first tag pad that everybody loved, that were neutral and just really easy to work with. And this comes with 5 designs, and they're all very neutral. This is the darkest one, chocolate. I love this one. And just different shades of creams and grungy tans. And there's one with some big handwriting. Really, really pretty. They do come with holes, so all you have to do is tear them off. And you can also incorporate this in your journaling books too. I think they would be kind of fun somehow, some way. So anyway, we're going to be utilizing some sprays and other goodies today also. I am going to take the brown craft bags, and do my tag on it, because these are so dirt cheap in the big box stores. Let me see if I can get this camera adjusted a little bit better. I think it's too low. There we go. Oh. And I think the color of the brown craft paper just really goes nicely with all these neutral tones. And so anyway, I'm going to take, this is a Finnebear stencil, and it's called Weaving, which is just kind of a nice neutral. And I'm going to take Antique Gold Bloom Spray, and I'm going to just do a few little squirts here and there. And then, I forgot paper towels today. And then I'm going to take, I don't have a package of this to show you because I broke it all up, and Lord knows where all the other stamps are and all the packaging. But this is a newer stamp too from this year. It's all these little splats, and it's not called splat, it's called something similar. And I love these little splatty stamps on the banners, because it just adds a lot of just more neutral fun stuff. So I'm going to do it on the bag. That one's not dark enough. Just to kind of show you what these little splats look like. distressed ink, so I'm just kind of using it, stamping it until the ink is out. But they just look like I was drinking my coffee and it spilled. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of that on my actual pad. I'm trying to think if this is the color I want. Yeah, this is the color I want. So I'm using tea dye and frayed burlap distress inks, which are kind of basic splotchy colors. I know that my girl and all the decor is going to go in the center, so I'm going to pull these lights back a little bit because they're very bright. So hang on. And that did not help. So here we have some ink splats. I'm going to take, this is also from one of the new Finnabair stamp sets. The ones with her photograph on. And it's a butterfly. She has some really neat stamps out this year with just all kinds of fun goodies. I'm going to get a wing maybe over in here, and then maybe something right here, because I know that my edges are going to show up. And it's very subtle because I'm using just all brown on browns, which I love to do because I do my things pretty subtly. So I have that, and with this particular, with the banner pad, I do find it difficult to rip off these. You have to do it very carefully because the gummy stuff is really, really strong. So I'm just warning you. You do have to rip them really carefully. You just can't go or you're going to get a tear. But if you get a tear in them, which I didn't here, voila, you can put a little scalloped edge, which you probably would do anyway, to cover any little tears up. What I do, because when I do my classes, I'm ripping the whole pad apart. I just peel all that gummy stuff back, and then I have a really clean top for my banners. So anyway, I'm going to be using the archival paper, not archival, yeah, the Archivist from Frank. I'm using my two basic papers that I'll be using today are really, really pretty florals. This one I'll be using Les Fleurs. And this one, L'Archiviste. I don't know how you say that. It's kind of sounded French with a Spanish accent. I don't know. So I am going to, sorry, I forgot my little ink pad and I was hoping I would find one here, which I did. I'm going to edge, get some brown. This one is birch bark. Any of the brown ink edgers work really well. I don't have a preference for the browns. Ooh, watch out for new ones. I have all of them and I use each and every one of them. So I'm just kind of getting the edges darkened so we can see them when I glue them down. Going to glue it down. Forgive me, I forgot my glue stick. I have been tied up with a sick husband who had surgery, double surgery, and playing nursemaid and all that. So I've been a little hung up lately. So I am just using a tacky glue that I found under the cabinet here. I'm going to trim the edges. I used just one of the Martha Stewart edge punchers for that, and then we have a really pretty top. And I will, as soon as that glue dries, I'll go ahead and punch those holes through. So that is the base. And then I'm going to put this here. I have a paper doily, just a little standard baking doily. And I'm going to fold that down. Did you guys see that? Yikes. That glue poured out everywhere. Okay. Wow. Well, we know that's not coming off. I do have a little tip about paper doilies. Instead of buying them in the cooking aisle at Michael's or any of those big box stores, I get mine at a restaurant supply house, and I buy hundreds at once, and they're cheap. Anyway, there's the little top, and I'm going to let that back side. Ugh, what a mess. Doilies are one of my favorite things to use. I love them. In the center here, I'm going to add a doily die, and I'm taking paper from my buff paper pad. These dark tones in the back I don't use a lot, so I always try and come up with ideas to use these. My bottom piece, I'm going to ink the edges a smidge on this. And the papers in this paper pad work beautifully with the banner pad colors. So I've got two different tones here of that buff pad. I'm going to glue the bottom one down flat with very little glue. And then I'm going to pop dot the other pieces on. When I find my little pop dots that I know are here. Here they are. And I have another tiny little doily that needs to go even on top of this, which will turn up eventually. I don't see it right now. So I'll go ahead and get these guys on. And I'm going to take, I have the Archivist little note cards here. They're 3x4. I'm going to take a couple of these that I like, and I'm going to cut out a couple of little ribbon banners that I'm going to layer in here. Just little, I do this with all my scraps because it's just fun. Here's a piece of black that I don't use too often, but you know what? That could be fun because it's different. I don't know what it says. It says something in French. Of course, I'm going to ink the edges of this. It's black. I don't need to do this, but it does. It's my thing that I just do because I know it's done, and it's one of my little weirdnesses. So now I'm going to cut these down a smidge. It's always fun to take your scraps and utilize them somehow. I'm going to just kind of layer them behind here. I'm going to put it higher than lower because I have a feeling her little dress is going to get in the way. I like to have things hanging off the edge. So there's that. And I'm going to start the girl. Oh, here's my other little doily that I knew I had that I just actually cut out of this pad. I also took a tag die and I cut out of this pad too. These are kind of nice to have around when you need little pieces here and there. So I'm going to pop dot this little guy on. And I'm going to move on to the girl right now. We're going to go ahead and stamp her. Oh, everything's leaking on me. The bloom spray. We're going to stamp her on one of the papers out of the buff pad. So I'm going to use this one for her. I'm going to go ahead and stamp her. Usually I do this beforehand, so I'm not cutting. This is how I stamp, guys, when my stamps start losing their stickiness. And actually, this is how I've always stamped. So it's just a habit for me. So I've got her, and I have her dress, which is going to be this paper. First, I'm going to cut, I'm going to stamp the top part of her little slip here that she's wearing, and that's going to be part of her dress. So I'll go ahead and stamp that. And then this is Marisol, by the way. She comes as is, and her little clothes pack, which is a skirt, which you can make long or short. And I'm making this particular one short. I gotta find the magic spot where I want that dress to go. This stamp set also comes with a little peplum ruffle, which I'm not going to use today. but it can be used in a million different ways also. Here it is. It can be used here. It can be on the bottom. This comes with a tank dress. It can be used on the bottom of that dress as well. And I am using a hat from, we have an accessory hat pack with hats and handbags. It's either from that or it's from the new 1950 stamp Audrey. I don't know which one this is, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp her a hat on one of these little cards here. And yeah, I just do that when I'm have a little stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the hat. Stuff. I'm only concerned with the top part of this little slip, so I'm not going to cut the entire piece. In fact, I didn't even stamp the entire piece. I just stamped what I needed, which is going to be right below the waist on this. And then I just cut it about that size. This skirt, I'm going to bring it down on her waist a little bit, so it's a low-waisted dress. It's not going to be right at her waist. So I am cutting the top and the sides of this skirt. I want it pretty short. You can draw in the hemline. I'm just going to eyeball it. And I'm just cutting basically kind of a wavy line here to make it easy. And there's her skirt. Now I'm going to move on to her. And I'm going to use the watercolor pencils in the hair and skin tones. Yep, the ones that are hard to get right now. And I'm going to use the Prima watercolor brush. And I've got it loaded with water, so I'm going to squirt it, get it wet. And I know I've shown you guys this a million times, but again, for those of you that don't have these and you're planning on getting them, I put everything in from light to dark usually when I put them away, because it's just easier for me to find what I'm looking for. So I am going to, I am picking out the left side of her, and I'm just coloring in a little shadow. And I'll show you the shadow on her entire body, her skin, not her slip or anything. So I'm just, you can really see it on the legs there. Still, just a light shadow. I'm wiping most of the water from my pen or my brush, because I don't want the paper to crinkle. And I'm just lightly, I forgot this. I forgot the other side of her arm. So this is another way you can do it. You can put your pencil to the side and then you can go in with your brush and pick it up. And I'm just lightly blending it over. Her hair, I think I want her to have a darker toned hair because I'm using so many browns. We'll give her kind of a red tone maybe. With the skin, because I'm using a pad, a paper that is script and it has color to it, I just created the shadow on her skin. Her hair, I'm going to color in the entire thing. And I am coloring it downwards, the way you would brush your hair. So all your strokes are going to look realistic. I haven't cut her out, so I can go out of the lines if I need to. Put some dark brown there in case I want to come in with some added texture. So you can see that it's just, you know, colored on. Any first grader could do that. And again, a very dry brush. And I'm going to blend that down. This particular paper pad is a lightweight paper, so I'm using very little water. Now you saw I put that dark brown, and I'm just using that for some texture back here around her neck to darken it a little bit. And watercolor is very forgiving. It's not like a Copic marker where everything is so precise. So now she's got some texture in her hair. So I'll go ahead and cut her. Oh, I forgot her shoes. Let's do dark brown shoes. I'm just drawing in little half circles because her shoe, she doesn't come with shoes. That way you can make whatever you want out of her. And I'm going to just color them in quickly. The other thing that you can do if you want, if you have time, so why not? You can follow those stamping lines with your watercolor pencil, and you can add some depth to this skirt if you want. Make it pretty dark up at the top where all those folds would be. So I'm going to go ahead and blend that. And that gives the clothes just some added depth to them. The watercolor pencils come in, besides the hair and skin, come in so many other different packs. There's spring colors, there's neutral colors, there's fall colors, all kinds of stuff to work with. So I just added just a touch to add some depth in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut her, the insides of her legs and the inside of her arms out really quickly because I don't like that. And I'll cut her out quickly. This is kind of a dull knife, so it's time to open a new knife. some of that out. So we'll just cut. These are scissors that were here, so I'm not really used to them. So I will just I'm being more careful cutting the places that are going to show rather than around the leg area where she's going to be covered up by a dress. I don't have to be as careful there. So almost there. Just needed a little bit of help down there. There we go. Gonna ink the edges of everything. Even though we created those shadows, I still like to put a little bit of ink around the edges for it to all stand out. I didn't get the inside of her legs cut very well, but that's okay. I always prefer a glue stick when I'm doing the clothes. I feel like I get more control with a good quality glue stick. That's just my preference. So here's her little dress, part of her. I need to trim a little bit of her back because my cutting was off a little bit. And then I'm going to take just going to glue the center down the center because that's all that's going to show. And I'm making this kind of a drop waisted skirt. So there you have her clothes, her hat. I need to cut that slit. That's not going to cut very well. I'll ink the edges. One of the things that's always kind of bugged me is I couldn't ink the edge of that top slit without messing things up. So I can take my watercolor pencil now and just smudge that around just to give me a little bit of depth there. Blend that nicely. Put a little drop of glue. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and repunch the holes. If you wanted to, you could put another banner on the back if you wanted the back to look complete. Oh, I'm going to punch a little hole in the bottom because I'm going to add a fancy little doodad down here. So I have the memory hardware. I have the chain, the antique chains, which comes in different metal finishes. So I'm going to take a length of this bronzy and just snip it. And then a couple of jump rings. Let's do a little one here. Yikes, I can hardly see this. And I'll go ahead and put this little dangly bobble thing on the end. Close up that ring good. It's actually a little bit longer than I would like, so let me cut. There we go. And I'm going to, oh, I shouldn't have closed that all the way. Attach this through the hole. You could also put an eyelet down here if you wanted to make it super strong. There we go. So we have our little dangly doodad. And I'm just going to start building things in here. I know I'm going to want her here. And let's see. I have this fun little Eiffel Tower die that I like. I'm probably going to put that there. And this I'm going to glue down in a couple places because it's so dainty that I can't really do pop dots anywhere on it. I could do clear dots, I suppose. Let me take some. These are a really cool flower. These are item 581190, and they look like they're made of corrugated cardboard. I don't know what they're made of. They look like coffee cup holders from Starbucks. It's just a really, really neat texture. And I'm going to go ahead and I like the neutral tone of these. I'm not going to glue them yet because I still have work to do. I'm going to take some rayon ribbon Now, I don't know if you're like me, I always get confused when I'm threading ribbon through here. Oh, I kind of want, I didn't bring a water spray bottle, so I'm just utilizing what I have. Water from my pen. And I'm crinkling it up really good because I want it to be very wrinkly and vintage looking. So I'm going to thread it through. use the wire from this rose to get it through that little hole. I can, of course, punch the holes bigger, but I really don't want to do that. So there we go. It's really thin ribbon. So I know I need a loop to hang on the back. About like that to hang on my bag. And of course the recipient of this gift can use this to hang on a wall or a memory board, on a cabinet knob, on a doorknob, anything. I have stuff like this hanging all over my house, as you can well imagine. So I'm pulling through. And if I had to tell someone how to do this, I probably couldn't. It's just one of those things that you have to eyeball and work. So there we go. Move. So I got both ends over on one side. And I'm going to get a little more ribbon so I can get a really nice full bow over here. Just squirt some more water. Get it nice and wrinkly. And I'm just going to add some little folds into that. And then tie it right here. So it looks like an old vintagey bow from someone's old hat that you would find in a attic or something. And I lost my string. Where'd it go? I totally lost it. There it is. Okay. It just got confused. Not me, the ribbon. There. There we go. And then I can trim this. I'm going to pop dot her into place. I forgot to give her some cheeks. She's got to have some cheeks. A little bit of the peach. I know her legs are going to end up going off the page a little bit, so I'm not putting any down there. Put her in place where I want her. I've got a little black rose on wire that I'm going to put in her hat. I also have the jewelry that I picked out in the cream, and I'm going to add a necklace to her. And in this package, there is this center necklace has 3 strands. They don't, because of the width of the pearls, they don't fit terrifically on. So I'm just going to peel up the first 2 strands, and that 3rd strand I can use it as a separate necklace, or I use it to cut apart, and I can use it for all kinds of things. Straps on shoes, straps on a little handbag, all kinds of things. Earrings. So I'm going to go ahead and put her necklace on, and I love this color because it just, again, it's just that yellowish, antique, vintagey looking. Okay, so we'll put that away. I have from the Archivist collection some of Frank's, this is Frank's paper collection, some of the wooden goodies. Comes with this darling little Eiffel Tower. But I needed some things that were Frenchy, so I'm going to go ahead and use, oh, I forgot the little tag. Let's do that tag before I forget, because this is something that you can actually, you could write on the back of the banner, of course, but you can also add a little tag here that you could write whatever you wanted on it. Because it's always fun to have just tags and just doodads. The more hanging and the more on there, the funner it is sometimes. So I've got my little wooden Paris that I'm going to go ahead and pop dot right here in the center. And then I have another little Frenchy chalkboardy looking sign that I'm going to put right here in the center. Now I'm going to do my flowers. Let's see if we have a glue that's not as runny. Yep. We don't. So I'm going to go ahead and glue. Like the way I'm just pretending like that's not happening. Okay, this is just not gonna. I'm just gonna glue dot it on. So hopefully this will work okay. That way I can at least hold it. Using all neutral flowers to go with the neutral look of this. Then I have this little tiny rose that we're going to put in her Are you asking me about the Eiffel Tower or the flower? Where did she get the big one? Okay. The Eiffel Tower is La La Land. And if someone's asking about the flower, I had already given out the style number of that. Let's see. Yes. The Eiffel Tower is a La La Land die. It's adorable. And I use it a lot. So there you have it, you guys. Super, super simple. Super fun. This size bag literally cost, I think, 99 cents. And I bought a big one because I wasn't sure of the size when I was at the store. And then I just loop it over the handle. I'm usually looking at it when I'm looping it over so it goes on even. And there you've got just a super, super easy gift wrap idea. All the beautiful tissues that you can get now that are kind of Frenchy and flare. And look at how pretty that is. My camera's at close up. That's the problem. So anyway, that's it, you guys. Thank you. And I'm going to be skipping next month because I have no idea what I'm going to do. And I will be back in July showing you the summer release, which is going to be very fun, I promise. And thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.